Behold, my nerd factor reaching new heights. This is my 3D Marvel logo movie shelf. Marvel logo movie shelf. MLMS. Sounds like a disease. Honey, do I have a disease?
Yes.
So I thought I'd show you real quick how I made it, and then, if you stick around, I'm going to show you my favorite scene in the entire MCU. Grandma, you're going to like this one. Yeah, that's right. I have a grandma who watches Marvel movies, and she loves them. How awesome is that? To make this, I will need Coroplast, a ruler, an X-Acto knife, pen, fabric surface duct tape. I don't know what you call it. It's got like this fabric surface to it. Mod Podge, a brush, hot glue gun, rubbing alcohol, paint, and comic book pages. Coroplast is notoriously difficult to paint and glue together, and I've heard that rubbing it down with rubbing alcohol first can make it easier to paste to, so I did that just to be safe. If this were just a board on the wall with a painted surface, I might be a little more concerned with the paint peeling or the glue not sticking to the Coroplast, but this is going to be a fully contained unit encased in Mod Podge, tape, and paint. A lot of seams, a lot of places for it to connect, so I'm not really worried about it falling apart. The glue gun appears to be melting some of the plastic as I put the glue on, which is good. Really going to help keep it together. Da 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 da. It's more like this. Da 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 da. From a distance, it looks totally rad. Just don't look too closely or you will notice many very obvious seams. If I were to do this again, there are a ton of things I would do differently. I was just trying to do this on the cheap with supplies that I had on hand, and it took a while. It took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Still, it'll make my brother so jealous, and that makes it so worth it.
Alright, here it is, my favorite scene out of all the films in the MCU, and it comes out of 2016's Doctor Strange. It's the scene where Strange confronts Jonathan Pangborn about what he did to heal his back injury, and Pangborn tells him about the mystic arts that allowed him to tap into an otherworldly power. This scene is where all of Doctor Strange's beliefs begin to change, where he begins to go from being a man of logic and hard, straightforward ambition to someone willing to accept that there are mysteries far beyond his control. This philosophical shift is represented in how the scene is framed. Throughout the film, to this point, the movie has been comprised of strong vertical and horizontal shapes, squares, and parallel lines. The visual language until now complements the character of Doctor Strange, illustrating that he lives in a clear-cut world of facts and laws. But during the scene with Jonathan Pangborn, the visual language of the movie begins to shift. We get a wall covered in wild graffiti set behind Doctor Strange, who is framed through a wire fence of hard, rigid lines, until he steps to a doorway to stand in front of Pangborn, who is presenting him with information that is about to wildly change his worldview. It's almost as if this doorway here represents a precipice of a whole new discovery for Stephen Strange. From this point on, the film's visual style completely changes. Gone are the hard parallel lines that used to define Strange's world. Instead, we see more diverse architecture, lattice work, and an almost dizzying spectrum of shapes moving in illogical patterns. This seems to suggest that Strange's mind has been open to something far beyond the rigid world he once knew. There is so much to unpack in this single scene. It is beautifully composed and executed, and it's just one of the things, I think, that elevates this movie above a lot of the others in the MCU. Doctor Strange also happens to be one of my grandma's favorite MCU movies, so here's to you, Grandma.